let's get on this beautiful topic. This is a way of breaking generational curses. Truly, truly, truly. I'm understanding it like very well for the type of person that I am. Seeing my family at the moment is not the family that I want to create. You understand what I'm saying? Once you realize the family that you have at the current moment, meaning the family that you've been brought into, the ones who knows you know what I'm trying to say, what I'm trying to explain to you. The family that you were brought on from is just an example. In reality, they're not really your family. If you understand what I'm saying, you're going to understand it. Well, what I'm trying to get at is the family that you're currently seeing is just an example for you to know the difference between what you want your family to be like, how you want to raise your family, and the way you want to interact with them, you know. Because I realize you seeing the family that you're around is just a stepping stool for you to become a better person. It's just, it takes a toll, but at the end of the day, we're strong enough, we're capable, we are brave. They're just an example of what we would want in our family, or to better the family that we'll be creating. I'm sure most of us who knows or who understands that this type of family that we were brought on is not the type of family that we want to create. And I believe 100% of the time that the family that you're going to create is going to literally be the best family that you will ever have. Because at the end of the day, it would be your wife or the spouse that you'll be with, and then your kids, and if you have brothers and sisters, it's up to you to have them along the ride, but you don't have to. But the family that you will be creating is exactly what needs to be done. You know what will happen. That will be the best family that you will ever have. I'm not saying the current family that you have right now is not it, but most of us have to see it in a different space of like, damn, my parents were taught from their generation how to treat people the correct way, or how to speak to people, or not how to get emotional in a certain type of way. You understand what I'm saying? Like, if you have parents who lie to you, when you have your own family, I'm sure you're going to be the type of person to be honest with your kids, you know. You're going to be straight up with them. When they're asking you a question, you're going to be the one to answer the question. Because let's say you're the type of person where you ask your parents, hey, I need some answers to this. Like, you ask them with respect and they ignore you. I'm sure once you create your own family, you won't ignore them. And that's one thing I've been realizing lately. They're just an example. Each person in your family, each character is an example for you to start adjusting yourself, or start adjusting your character to not be like them. You know, because a lot of people in this life, man, they are just examples of what you should and should not be. Yes, we do have great people in our family, and the ones that don't even know that they're great, and the ones that you can see through them are the ones that you have to pay attention to not be like them, to always be better than them. And yes, you have to prove to yourself, not to them, yes, you are better. You have a much better life than they do. Though you're not better than anyone else, don't always think it like that, but you just want to be better. You want to have a better environment, a better family, You want to be a better father to the kids that you will one day have, kid or kids. You wanna be a stepping stool where your kids can trust you. Your kids don't have to go to somebody else and ask for some information that could literally be spoken right then and there by you as a father or as a mother. You know, a lot of us have to go through it, and we won't have to deal with it for so long, because once we have everything that we have, or once we have everything that we wish for and we work towards it, because faith without work is dead. So I believe that we will be successful. We will be the greatest things that our kids would ever want, or we're going to appreciate everything that we see our kids doing, and we're going to reward them. We're going to sit down and have a mature talk with them for them to understand this life, because this world will never end. The only way this world will end is when God comes and pick you up by yourself. Meaning, you see how everyone has an expiration date? Yes, that's how he's going to pick you up. That's how the end of your world will be. And what can you do about it? Nothing. Just enjoy life. Be an example. Be true to yourself. Be true to the family that you're going to create. Understand that this current family that you have, you're going to do better than them, you know, especially for the people who mistreat you, who takes advantage of you, who talks behind your back. You won't be the type of person to do that behind the family you create. You'll be forward, you'll be straight with them, you know. But it's not, it gets very tough depending on your current situation, but you're not alone. As long as you know that you have a God that is present to show you exactly how your family is, you know, showing its own self, that's all that really matters, I believe, because, like I said, we're all going through a lot of things that we wish we could get out of, but one day we will. One day we will be much more happy to introduce our family to our family, you feel me? If that makes sense. I'm not saying them, but your own family. You'll create that family. You'll feel very much happy that your character has developed, that you've grown into something that a lot of people just doubted in you, didn't have faith in you, but you know it could happen. You know you were speaking it to existence, you know. Always believe in yourself. Believe the man above first before you believe in yourself, because believing in ourselves, sometimes we can steer away sometimes, but having faith in God and having faith in ourselves as well is the number one goal to reach higher limits, you know. Being disciplined every day, knowing that motivation can go out the door any day, any second. Anything can happen, but once you're disciplined, you follow a path, a direct path that holds you accountable for everything that you're doing in life, you know. And I'm grateful for the position that I'm in. It could be much worse. A lot of people are going through a lot of things in this life that sometimes we feel like we're going through hell, but somebody right now is not. It's probably going through the worst hell ever, you know. But one day they will get out of it. Continue to be strong. Continue to develop the character that you want to see, and for your kids to enjoy the time with you. Just continue to be strong, man. sometimes what we want out of life, God has a better purpose. He doesn't let nobody down. Not one bit. Sometimes what we want, later on we realize He has something way bigger, way better. Sometimes finding out things the hard way or later on in life only builds up your character, only builds up yourself, only strengthens yourself, and you realize that the character that you have developed, you don't feel bad about the things that even happened in the past. You're just more happy, you're in the moment, you're in the present. And that's all that matters, being in the present. You know, you support yourself, you hold yourself accountable. You know, it's not an easy route once you find out things that could have been said to you just being forward, but sometimes you have to find out the hard way. And what I mean by hard way, it's like sometimes you share your stories with certain people and you end up asking your own family. And you realize this whole time they've been lying to you. They've been taking advantage of you. And you actually start to not feel bad for what they're actually going through in their lifestyle. Because people literally will benefit from you, take advantage of you, take every piece of your heart and not care about it because they look at it as their own benefit. You know, I'll give you an example of like, I take care of this person, which is in my family. Don't mind taking care of my family because at the end of the day, I want to take care of the family that I'm going to create. But sometimes you have to find out the hard way. Mind you, I was working, I have my own business where times on times I had to take time off to literally take them to the doctor's appointment, which like I said, I don't mind. You know, God is always watching, God is always supporting, you know, He does what He does for a reason. But sometimes we can't keep our mouth shut. You know, sometimes we have to speak, sometimes we have to talk, sometimes we have to share our stories. And so most of the times when we share our stories, sometimes it's the right time that we realize that somebody is probably in that field and now could be helping us. But to where I'm going with this is just, this whole time I was helping this person, they were aware that their insurance could cover anybody to come out of their way and take them to the doctors. I understand you may not feel comfortable with somebody else, but just looking at the fact that people wouldn't even tell you or even try themselves, put an effort in themselves to make that phone call so that way their insurance, like I said, that covers their, it's like basically Uber or Lyft or anything that could take you from point A to point B and you don't have to pay because your insurance covers everything. Mind you, I didn't have to miss work. Mind you, I didn't have to tell a client, hey, I won't be able to make it today. You have to find out the hard way, and sometimes it gets to you, but you have to also think about like, wow, some people. And at the end of the day, once you really look at them, you pay attention to their character, they're lost. They will never change. They will always remain stagnant. No matter how much they believe in the Lord, as long as they believe that they can get something out of you, You can take them anywhere. Which, like I said, their insurance covers them up to I don't know how many hours, more than 4 hours. Think about it. I don't have to call Uber. At times I had to call lots of Ubers when that person could have made a phone call to their insurance or their, Medicare, Medicaid, and have someone literally from that company pick them up because their insurance covers it. So finding out the hard way sometimes is it's even crushing, but for the fact that your character has developed so much to the point where you don't react to like, oh, you knew that you could have done this. Your character has developed to the point where you're just like, oh wow. So this whole time, you knew what could have been done. You know that I work. You know I don't work a 9 to 5. You know what I deal with. But you still decide to take advantage of it. Same people that literally take advantage of you are the same people who be talking shit behind you. And like I said, once you develop a character, man, once that character just grows, you become so much mature. Like you just look at things very different. You just say to yourself, I would never want to be like you. No matter how close of a family member you are to me, no matter if we're sleeping in the same house, never want to be like you. Matter of fact, I'll just be an example. You just keep growing, man. You grow and realize everything happens for a reason. Because it develops your character. But what I'm saying is, the people who take advantage of you, look at what they're going through in life. Mentally, physically, and spiritually. Just look at what they're going through in life. People who take advantage of you, just pay attention to what they're going through in life. And most of the time, it's nothing good. And as you develop that character, as you have been more mature, the way you respond to things, you actually don't feel bad for what they're going through. Once you look at it, it's like, damn, you deserve it. You just really be laughing in the heart. What can you do about it? You just let it be. But, once your time comes, everything starts spilling out. Things just start unfolding without you even trying. Everything that you wouldn't go out your way for just comes to you. And that's one thing I've been realizing lately. And once you start figuring out and start realizing that yourself, whoever I'm talking to, or if you already have gone through it feels even better. You get to enjoy life without feeling no pity for people, without feeling bad about their own character, the way they act, the way they move. One day they happy, the next 3-4 days they're just mad at you, and they don't know why. They just feel a certain type of way towards you, but you'll see how they react towards everybody else. Very different, right? So create a family where you just want to look back and be like, I've created the greatest family ever, where my kids can just feel comfortable in my environment, in my space, in my house. They never have to worry about somebody else treating them like whatever, because they are worth something. They are worth a lot, You will create the family. You will create your environment. No one is going to create it for you. You choose your wife. You choose your spouse. You choose your person that you want to last forever with. But always put God first in the relationship, because you could be like, oh, that's mine, and in reality, God is like, no, it ain't. So always put God first in your relationship. Put God first in the family that you are going to create. If things happen, they happen. If they don't happen, they don't happen. And don't feel bad about it, because God has created someone very special for you. Literally. Out of every woman that you've ever met, bro, there's that person that is literally meant for you. Flaws and all. But it'll feel like it ain't no flaws. You get me? Like, you will feel good about it. You know? A lot of people don't even realize, like, not having God in the center of a relationship, man, it's gonna be a fall down for you. I don't wish any fall down on nobody, but putting God first can either take that person away from you, can either show you some red flags that you probably have seen and you ignored, and you have to see them again because you asked God, hey, be in the center of it. They will start showing their true character, their true colors, the true definition of who they are, how they speak to you. And if you know who you are deep inside, do not let anybody treat you any type of way. Remember, you see something that is wrong and your soul can feel it. Don't feel bad for leaving that person. Actually try to leave that person on good terms, because you don't just want to walk out of a relationship and be like, oh, I'm done with you. No, actually, tell your part, and if they understand you, they understand you. And if they don't understand, which they do understand, that was the red flag you needed. What else? What more do you want? You feel me? Like, don't take things like it's nothing. Nah, take it very serious. If a person doesn't understand, I understand it will be an emotional stage where people are going to be like, what? Da, 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 da. But once you really see their true colors, you will see it. You won't need any hint. But, pray that you build a quality family. A family with respect, who honors themselves, who respects themselves, who respect one another. Spouse, make sure you both respect each other. If you get married, make sure, like I said, the man above is in your relationship. Even before that, bro. So that way you know who you're actually dealing with. Women, men, you have to understand people go through things in life. It's up to you to, either you want to keep it up or let it go. You keep trying to better. If you're not seeing any results, then I feel like you should really move on with your life. And some people will show you their true colors. But like I said, sometimes it's really hard when you find out the hard way. But it only becomes easier because you already know now. It's like, okay, you have this opportunity. I can go back to work. Like, this whole time you had insurance that could cover you. I could feel any bad. Like, I don't have to feel bad if you didn't make it to the appointment today or tomorrow, whatever it is. But at the end of the day, you still gotta do what you gotta do. Let the Lord fill you up with His blessings that He has done for you. When your time comes, they will eventually have to, call their insurance company and have somebody else come do the job that you were doing for them. Though you weren't getting paid, the insurance company is paying whoever needs to come support them who can't do too much of their own. So at the end of the day, like I said, your character will develop. You won't really look at people the same. You'll just understand that maybe I need to stop doing a lot. Because whenever I do a lot, people tend to take advantage of me. Or the people that I feel like they need help, but in reality they don't. One thing I had to realize as well, the things that are meant for you will come to you. When your time comes, just always reflect on what you went through that got you to this point. Because at the end of the day, it's all about developing this character that we are in. Eventually, when something like that comes back across, we know exactly what to do. We know exactly how to act. We know exactly how to respond instead of reacting. And don't feel like you're alone, man. God has a purpose in your life. A very great one. You just have to see through it. Or you have to see it through. Take time to reflect. If you have the brain that you use, man, use it. Don't just, God gave us this brain for a reason. He gave us this knowledge that we have. Because if somebody you ever run across is like, damn, you're young for what you're saying, understand that God gave you a tool to use. So do not lose that tool that He gave you. You feel me? Because once you lose that tool that you didn't use, it's like, what was the point of you being here? What was the point of you going through what you had to go through? You understand what I'm saying? So just go through what you need to go through, man, because you're not alone. You're not alone. Somebody right now is going through worse and dealing through worse and is trying to figure out why they're going through it. But guess what? They will overcome it. They will see it. And I believe in you. Understand? If nobody believes in you, I do. Because a lot of us need somebody that believes in us, But believe in the man above, believe in yourself, believe in the family that you're going to create, Just keep believing, man. Even when it sounds crazy. Even when it's not in front of you. Just keep believing, bro. Believe it. Speak it to existence. Write it down. Do what needs to be done until it comes to you, If it's meant to, if it's meant for you, it will come to you. If it's not, it will not. You don't need to go out of your way. Though you need to put in some effort, really put in some effort. Because, like I said, faith without work is dead. How can you be like, oh, I want this, and don't even put in action towards what you really want? Oh, I want to go buy a camera. Okay. Well, do you have the money? Do you have the resources? What are you going to create? Did you develop an app or an Instagram or a Facebook that's going to, eventually get to the point where you're using a camera? Or are you doing photography? Or are you doing videography? Things like that. So, understand life is great. No matter what you're going through. I understand it may take a toll on you, man, but it's for a reason. Don't break that character. Don't break at all. Sometimes you will break, but guess what? Once you fully understand everything that you went through, that character can't break anymore. It's just a solid foundation. And that's when it only gets better, and that I could say that's just the start of it. It's not done. You're not done